This video is going to take you through a process called factoring by grouping, which is another good way to factor polynomials without using synthetic division. That'll be our next topic that we will look at. So the first one I'm just going to rewrite as 3x times 2x plus 3 in color to kind of highlight the part that's the same. This is like factoring out a GCF, except the GCF is now the entire parentheses. So in this case, we are going to take that GCF. We're going to pull it out of each part. Alright, so we're going to take out that as a GCF, and then what's left is what's in black, the 3x minus 5. So you can almost think as if you are kind of crossing off this from both of the, what I'm calling terms, and then the 3x minus 5 is left after you pull out the parentheses. Now normally you'd have to factor further if that was possible. In this case, that will be our final answer. And this is going to work for 4, 6, or 8 terms. Or more, an even number terms. So more than 3 terms. The 2 terms, we have 2 other methods of factoring that we just looked at previous to this video. So our steps for this, since these are the types of problems that we're going to be looking at, we're going to group together 2 terms at a time. Using parentheses. So I'm going to just do that underneath here, 3y cubed plus y squared. I like to put the plus sign in the middle, even if there's a minus sign. Group negative signs with the parentheses. We're going to take a GCF out of each parentheses. It does not have to be a GCF for the entire problem. So we're going to have y squared for the first one, and we'll be left with 3y plus 1. I'm going to put that in red. And then the goal is to get the same parentheses. So you want to make the parentheses look the same. That might mean taking out a negative sign. In this case it doesn't, but sometimes it does. So we want to get our second parentheses to be 3y plus 1 when we take out a GCF. In this case, if we take out a positive 3, you will get that result. You're going to factor out the like parentheses. And then factor what's left if possible. So again, like before, we're going to take out the 3y plus 1. We're left with y squared plus 3. Now nothing here factors further, so I'm just going to box that off. The next example, we will have to factor what's left. Okay, and our next one, we do have the negative sign situation, so I'm just going to write this a little bit bigger. X cubed plus 5x squared plus negative 4x minus 20. Again, I'm putting that plus sign in between so you don't think that you are actually multiplying everything. We'll take a GCF out of the first parentheses. It will be x squared, and you'll be left with x plus 5. Now our goal here is to make the second parentheses also x plus 5. So we're going to take out the negative here. To get the parentheses to be the same, we're going to take out a minus 4 or negative 4. If you divide each term by -4, you do get x plus 5. So we're going to pull that out, the x plus 5. Again, you kind of cross it off of each spot there. I'm going to undo that just so I'm not actually showing the cross off. You can do the crossing off if you feel like that helps you. We're left with x squared minus 4. Now the x squared minus 4 can factor further. So we have the x plus 5, and then the x squared minus 4, like we did at the beginning, factors into x minus 2 times x plus 2. And that's our final answer. So as a polynomial, a lot of times you get more than just the two parentheses like we did with quadratics, especially when you're doing grouping. Alright, our last examples are a little weird, but these are kind of part-like questions. You have a like term, but now the GCF in this case is going to be the parentheses squared or the parentheses cubed. So in this case it's 5x, it's 5x minus 3 squared. Okay? So we're going to take that entire piece out. It's already kind of grouped for you. We'll pull out the 5x minus 3 squared from each. And then what's left is going to be the 25x squared minus 9. These are partially grouped for you already. But the difference here is it's going to factor further. And I'm going to put in red parts that are kind of similar. The 5x minus 3 is going to show up again. I'm going to keep the squared here for now. If you factor 25x squared minus 9 further, you get another 5x minus 3 and a 5x plus 3. Since we get another parentheses that's the same, it's kind of like having x squared times x to the first. You would add the exponents. So we can do the same thing here. Probably should not have made this the same color. Let me just switch that over to black, just so it's easier to see. We're going to make this into 5x minus 3 to the third, and then times the 5x plus 3. It's an interesting type of problem, similar to the idea of grouping and then kind of putting things together. Next one, very similar. We have 2x plus 5 cubed this time, so I'm going to switch my colors. You'll have 2x plus 5 cubed will come out. You'll be left with the 4x squared minus 25, which factors further. We're going to get another 2x plus 5 out of it. So you'll get a 2x plus 5 when you factor the 4x squared minus 25 times 2x minus 5. And again, we're going to add the exponents, so we'll have 2x plus 5 to the fourth times 2x minus 5 as your final answer. Again, these are kind of park-like questions, and they may ask you for different things about the final answer or how to rewrite it. Now, if you need to go back, rewatch anything, pause it, at any time you can do that with the video, and then you'll start working on some practice problems that go along with this.